Hello Biafrans and lovers of freedom all over the world. You are welcome to Biafra Battle Cry TV. We brought to you the update on Zoological Republic got judicial system damage beyond repair, Tinubu regime as disaster trying to succeed the Buhari's regime's ancient tribal hatred against the Igbo. In the show today is an activist, also a lawyer by name Barrister Maxwell, and also member of the legal team to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a prisoner of conscience who was kidnapped from Kenya to Nigeria. I think there is no legal argument regarding his bail or release conditions. Nnamdi Kanu has been held because of ancient hatred against Igbo race. It's understandable to feel frustrated by the situation. While the legal arguments surrounding Nnamdi Kanu's detainment are complex, attributing it solely to ancient hatred is an oversimplification. How can there be bail negotiation or release conditions for Kanu when the Nigerian court found no wrongdoing against Nnamdi Kanu and gave him unconditional bail? Which country's law disobeyed the rule of judiciary after a defendant is been discharged and acquitted? How can there be bail negotiation or release conditions for Kanu when the Nigerian court found no wrongdoing against Nnamdi Kanu and gave him unconditional bail? Which country's law disobeyed the rule of judiciary after a defendant is been discharged and acquitted? Are they not other separatists in Nigeria who has gained their freedom? Why did Nnamdi Kanu's case become complexities that surrounds it even though it seems contradictory on the surface? It is because he is Igbo man and Nigeria have been oppressing Igbo race from the beginning. Revealing the truth behind the seemingly endless suffering of Igbo people in Nigeria, there's huge element of hatred and tribalism against the Igbo race, which makes it difficult for them to get justice at the court of law in Nigeria. I don't think that the situation surrounding Nnamdi Kanu's detainment is complex because it's the legal negligence of international community being complicit over their treaty against extraordinary rendition by the Nigeria state. Thank you so much Barrister Maxwell for joining us today. Well, let's hear in details here and more. Thanks for watching Biafra Battle Cry TV and stay tuned for more updates.
Now, and just to tell you that barely 48 hours after honoring police invitation, the president of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Joe Ajaero, has again been re-invited over ongoing investigations into what the police has referred to alleged case of criminal intimidation conducts likely to cause breach of public peace and malicious damage to properties. So this is one of the issues we will be analyzing this morning. What does this entail for Nigeria, and what is the response of the NLC to this invitation? How did they even respond to the first one? What are the issues that have arisen yet again to warrant this re-invitation? Our guest is Maxwell Opera, a human rights lawyer, seated right here in the studio. Thank you so much, Michael, and welcome. Maxwell, rather. Good morning.
Thank you, Nkole. Thank you, Kunle.
It's unusual to see you not wearing a suit this morning, but
no, the suit is in the car. You know, all the NSAS suspects will be arraigned at Federal High Court.
So you are heading to court?
Yes, when I finish now, I will rope and join my colleagues there.
Excellent.
Yes.
So let's talk about this new invitation by the police to the NLC president and, of course, the General Secretary, Emma Ugboaja. What are the implications of the second one? He's already honored the first invitation on Thursday, and we saw that about an hour or so after he walked into the venue of the meeting, he walked back outside. But what's going on?
Yes, I will narrate what happened when we visited, when we accompanied Ajaero to visit to honor the old invitation. But I just want to start by saying that this is just a war against the Igbos. It's because Ajaero is an Igbo man.
How do you mean?
I will explain, and you get to understand what I'm saying. I will explain. Now, because had it been that it's another tribe that's occupying that NLC office, you will not be hearing all these things. You watch what happened in Nnamdi Kanu's matter, how other persons that even committed more crime.
No,
Maxwell,
you are going to really strain to convince me this morning.
I'm going. You will be convinced. You will be convinced. And I'm a lawyer. I know the implication of what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying. I go by facts. It's because of Nnamdi Kanu is an Igbo man. That's why others were asked to go, and Nnamdi Kanu is being detained. You know what is happening to the Ezigbo in Lagos? He is still under detention. While some people who came out to threaten a particular tribe are moving freely. Now, on the NLC, we had series of NLC presidents in this country. I started working with NLC during the time of Adams Oshomole. I work with Oma. I work with the immediate past one. And they have been organizing protests. They have been kicking against increment of fuel price. They have been fighting for minimum wage. Why should Ajero's own different?
Now the times are different.
I'm coming now.
The times are different. You know, things that happened before when the other presidents were there are different from now. Even the regimes are different. So you cannot just raise a tribal sentiment.
I'm telling you now that the regime of this APC that started from Buhari have passion hatred for the Igbos.
I don't think that is correct.
You asked me, you say I should convince you, and I want to convince you. Don't want me to convince you. I'm telling you that what happened in Kano, where people are carrying flag, had it been that thing happened in Enugu or Umuahia or Inorere, by now there wouldn't have been something like a Southeast. They would have leveled the entire Southeast. Those people that carried flag, had it been that flag, the Igbos never participated in the protest. Had it been that particular flag that was carried in the north, they are carried in the southeast, by now there wouldn't have been nothing like anything like a southeast. Now, going back to what we are talking about the invitation. Now, watch, this is what happened. That invitation, the first one said, the office is investigating a case of criminal conspiracy, terrorism financing, treasonable felony, subversion and crime, and cyber crime, in which you were mentioned. Talking about Ajero now, in which we are mentioned. Now, that particular invitation was given on the 19th. That was, I think, Monday. And he was asked to report the following day, less than 24 hours. Very strange. NLC president, who was writing an exam. So he wrote to them through the lawyer that, please, can you allow me to finish my exam? I'll come on the 29th. Lo and behold, on the 29th, we were there. Surprisingly, on camera, the head of IRT said, there was no petition against you. Nobody accused you of anything. Nobody's even mentioned your name. It's against what was contained in the invitation. That rather, somebody who was occupying an apartment in the NLC building committed act of terrorism, and we're investigating the man. In the course of that, we saw some document relating to NLC. That's why we invited you. Can you tell us what you know about it? Ajero said, well, thank God that you have stated it correctly. One, that building is not under NLC. That building is built by, I think, Third Fund, according to them. And Third Fund need to recuperate their money before they will not hand it over, about 500 million naira. Those tenants there are being put into there by the Third Fund, even before Ajero becomes the NLC president. So the person you are talking about, I don't know him. I don't have his number. I know that there's a bishop there, and I do go there to check some books. That was just it. Then he now talked about NLC minutes. Ajero said it's a public document. Anytime we're having a meeting, people do come. And most of the times after our meeting, they normally upload the minutes to social media. So people have access to the minutes. So he brought out one other document. He did not show Ajero, but he showed Femi Falana. Look at it. So Ajero explained, said, okay, that's all. No statement whatsoever was taken from Ajero. We took pictures, everybody.
And left. So this second invitation
now, this second one.
What about it?
This second one, watch that letter. The date of that letter was on the 28th of August. The letter was dated 28th of August. In other words, that letter is already on before 29th. And the police know that Ajero will be honoring that particular invitation on the 29th.
So they were inviting him for a second time while he had not even answered the first one.
I want to let you know that this is just a calculated attempt to suppress NLC headed by an Igbo man. This is a calculated attempt to edge Ajero out so that another person in that NLC can take over. Because of 2027, the earlier we started saying this thing, the better for this country. Now, that particular letter was dated 28, and Ajero honored the new one on the 29th. So they waited immediately after Ajero finished that one. In less than 48 hours, they now submitted this one. Now, the first one was that he should honor it the following day with a threat of arrest. Now, the second one now, they gave him 7 days, more than 7 days. They asked him this. He received that letter on the 31st, and he was asked to honor it on the 5th. That is less than more than 7 days. I just want to now. The question there is that if you feel that Ajero committed this particular crime, the same office, because that particular IRT is under force intelligence, the DIG is controlling that. Then the question there is that what stops you from consolidating that crime? Why are you duplicating it? One office. That's my red flag. One office. So now, after that particular day, I was given opportunity to address NLC. And I told NLC, it's on record. Ask Abulu. I told NLC, I know Nigeria very well. I know this government, APC government, I know them very well. You people should not relent. You people should still be at alert because they are coming up. They may come up with another strategy. In less than 48 hours, this particular Ajero received this particular letter. Now, what stopped them from consolidating the crime? Because if somebody wrote a petition, if 30 persons wrote a petition against a particular person, you receive this one, you receive this one, you receive this one. You don't duplicate it. You consolidate the investigation.
Let's even look at what the allegations are really. In the first one, it was about documents that were, collected from the NLC building, which, implicated him. The second one is saying that, the police referred to why they invited him as
criminal intimidation, conduct likely to cause breach of public peace, and malicious damage to
properties in which
you are
was
featured.
So let's look at the two cases. Are they related in any way?
I should be asking them because one, this particular issue has to do with. You remember that all these things started immediately after that protest, where Ajero said, NLC, we are not part of the protest. We are not going to be involved in the protest. But everybody that wants to protest have their right to protest. Everybody. And Ajero is also mobilizing people. Then we are mobilizing people to make sure that 70,000 naira is being implemented. And a lot of other issues that has to do with labor as a party. He told me all these things. Now, the question I'm asking now is that you are talking about criminal conspiracy, terrorism, financing, treasonable felony. And these particular ones now are lesser offense to compare two of them. What stops you from, if you don't have a negative intention, maybe they have discovered that the way this first one is going, we will not get what we want. Let us come with another plan. So, Ajero will honor it. Ajero is not covered by Section 308 of the Constitution. It's not under immunity. But what we are saying, those of us that are involved, we are saying is that whatever thing that you are doing, make sure that you follow the law. When the president, Tinubu, was docked, that was, I think, in 2011 or thereabout, at Code of Conduct, I mobilized lawyers. We appeared and gave him solidarity support against the then president, I think, Jonathan. We are led by Olanibeko SAN. There at Code of Conduct, Jabi, when the NSA Nuhu Ribadu was accused, he ran away. I mobilized. We joined Femi Falana and led us. We gave him solidarity support. We have been doing all these things. So what we are saying is that if somebody commits crime, follow the due process. Investigate your matter. Don't witch-hunt anybody. Don't use police. Thank God that Inspector General, look at all those Inspector General of Police. We are shouting. They have all left. They use them and dump them. They cannot come out freely in the society. We are warning them. Ranging from Suleiman Abbas, Suleiman Abba, Idris Mohammed Abubakar, and this present one. And we are fighting all these things, including police elongation. Don't destroy Nigerian police as Buhari destroyed Nigerian army. If you retire, go, let other people come. When I was fighting this thing, Kunle, this present IG was AIGO. I could remember when he was investigating one matter that involved one Chinese people. He was saying, hey, Maxwell, you are doing well. That is how we see. Now it have reached our own turn. It will not stand. Oga, Inspector General of Police, it will not stand. If you like, pay the money to amend that police act. It will not. We'll follow it legally. We'll follow it legally. We can't allow people to destroy Nigeria.
You are delving into something that is not part of our purview.
No,
for
we
this
are talking
morning.
about Nigeria.
I understand we're talking about Nigeria, but specifically we're looking at the invitation, the second invitation of Joe Ajaero now.
Using police.
Calm down now, Maxwell. Okay. Just try and stay calm. Let's look at the issues that we have for this morning. Now, talking about all of this, you've mentioned the role that Joe Ajaero, as president of the NLC, played during the #End Bad Governance in Nigeria protest. He came out clearly to say, we are not part of it,
yes,
and Nigerians are free to protest under the law.
Yes.
And that was the summation of the role
yes,
he played.
Yes.
So how come now we have an invitation talking about criminal intimidation, conducts likely to cause the breach of public peace, malicious damage to property and all of that?
I told you here the other day, if Nigerian government want to deal with you, they can go extra length. I have my facts, I practice law, I've been defending people. Because don't be surprised now that they must have gotten one of this mention that Ajaero sent us. But we are not against that, because the only thing that will last is the truth. Lies will never last. So if you feel that Ajaero has committed crime, because you have this particular information as at the 28th of August, and Ajaero reported in your office 29th, you did not come up with it. You just allow him to go in less than for 48 hours. You serve him another invitation. And you want to put the country under stress again, labor mobilizing in the various states, keeping Nigeria under tension. What do you want to achieve? Because of 2027. So, and what we are saying that if you are investigating a matter, just like as I said, follow the right channel. People have been facing criminal allegation. People have been going to court. If Ajaero commits any crime, he will go in for it. Nobody will defend him. Nobody will save him. If Ajaero involved in anything that has to do with terrorism, he will go in for it. But from the one that we are seeing now, they want to intimidate Ajaero because he's an Igbo man. They want to clamp down labor. That is just it. That is the simple fact. And it will not go well because, one, what we are talking about is that we know what we have been passing through to calm people down in the southeast. Today is Monday. Enter southeast and see what is going on. Nobody is happy. How can you be ruling in Abuja and you are a part of your country? In fact, a Chinese person, a foreigner, is much more recognized in this country than an Igbo man. Take it to bank. In fact, a Chinese can say anything in this country, a Russian can say anything, a British man can say anything and go and get away with it. If an Igbo man said him, you are in for it. That's why they said.
But Maxwell, you are an Igbo man.
Yes, now.
You've always had your say, and nobody has intimated.
This one you are asking me not to talk. Is it not only? Is it only probably?
I'm only asking you to, because you are a lawyer and
I'm making statement of facts.
When you are led, you have to prove.
Am I not proving them? I'm asking, why is Nnamdi Kanu still under detention?
All right, Maxwell.
Why is Ezigbo still under detention?
Those are apples and oranges now, Maxwell.
You said what?
Apples and oranges.
Maxwell,
I don't know what you mean that apples are not oranges. What is the difference between Nnamdi Kanu and Sonny Boho? What is the difference between Nnamdi Kanu and Sowore? What's the difference between are they not human beings and the chairman of president of Alakat? Are they not Nigerians? It's because of Nnamdi Kanu is an Igbo man.
All right, Maxwell.
When the agitation of self-determination becomes a crime in this country?
Maxwell, we'll come back with this discussion really after Kakaki Socials, because I'm going to ask you this when we return. There are insinuations in some quarters that probably Ajaero has also meddled into politics somehow. Probably that is why some of the persecution is coming. Right. So we will be talking about that when we come back. Let's see how Nigerians are reacting to trending issues on the